y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I created this sparkled chandelier. Let's get started. Here I am painting a black floral wreath, the color white. I found this wired wreath in the floral section of Dollar Tree, and the paint I purchased at Walmart a while back, and it was about $1. I made sure to paint the front and the back, and I just used one coat of paint. Using crafting wire I found at Dollar Tree in the hardware section, I wrapped it around a glass vase that I also found at Dollar Tree for $1. Now I made sure to make 3 loops, as I am going to be needing the 3 loops to hang this vase. I had no particular order when I wrapped the wire around the vase. I just made sure that it would be sturdy enough to carry the vase. I made sure that when I made the loops on the wire, I did spread them out evenly. Using the same wire, I then cut 3 even pieces at about 18 inches long, and I tied each end of the wire to each loop on the vase. I then took the opposite side of each wire and I tied that to the wired wreath. When tying the wire, I just simply loop and twist. I strategically tied the wire to the wired vase. There are 5 tiny little wired bars that connect the 3 wired loops. I tied the wire to one of those bars between the last 2 biggest loops. There are 6 bars connecting the 3 wires together, and I tied them alternating 1, 3, and 5. When I tied them all together, I made sure that they were evenly tied and that the vase wasn't lopsided. I also made sure that this would be sturdy enough to carry the weight of the vase. I then went back in with my crafting wire and I cut 3 even lengths of wire. On one end of the wires, I gathered them together and began to twist, creating a loop. This loop is what I will be using to support the entire chandelier. Moving on. On the opposite end of the wire, where they are not tied together, on the opposite side of the wire where they're not connected, I proceeded to tie the wire to the other 3 alternating wire bars that connect the 3 loops. This time I connected it to the bar that is in between, or that is connecting the smaller 2 circles. I then took Mardi Gras beads in the color silver and I hung them between the dividing wires, and I did a total of 6. I already had these beads, but I believe these beads came from Walmart in a pack of maybe 4. I can't remember, but they were pretty inexpensive. I repeated this process 6 times. I then took some extra beads that I had and I cut them the length of the wire. Ideally, I would have liked to have covered all 6 wires, but I only had enough for 3. I opted to measure the top wire. I then took some bling ribbon that I found at Hobby Lobby and I had left over. Now I know they have the same ribbon at Dollar Tree because I have purchased it from there before. Actually, the ribbon from Dollar Tree is about half that size, but it would work just as well. I then glued the ribbon to the inner circle of the wired wreath. I did this with the bling facing out. I just made sure to put a generous amount of glue so that the ribbon wouldn't fall off. Here I am just gluing the beads to the wire. I had already pre-measured and cut them, so the gluing part is the next step. I did use a low temperature glue gun, but caution, if you do decide to take this upon yourself, please be careful, it is still very hot. The next step is to take my bling ribbon and to glue it to the lower wires. Ideally, I would have liked to have used the beads, but I didn't have any more beads. This bling ribbon I did purchase at Dollar Tree for about 9 feet, I believe, is what the spool was for. Once I glued the ribbon to the wires, I then glued the ends of the ribbon shut, wrapping the ribbon around the wire. I was careful not to burn myself because, again, the glue is hot. I then took the same ribbon and wrapped it around the vase on top of the wire that I initially wrapped around the vase. And I made sure that when doing this, I did glue the ribbon to the wire and the vase. I made sure to hide any mistakes that I made when wrapping the wire and tying the wires together. Once I glued the ribbon, I then took the remaining beads and glued them underneath the ribbon to the vase. This is just so that I could tie the look together. Once I glued the beads to the vase, I then cut the excess beads that I did not want on there. And the next step is to glue battery operated lights. These lights actually came from the Dollar Tree, and they come in the red solo cup type of mini lights with the batteries. I do have that in my previous video, and I will link that down below. Anyway, so I glued the battery, the back side of it, to the wire hiding behind the ribbon. And once I felt that it was secure enough, I just went ahead and started wrapping the wire around the wire, or the light wire around the wreath wire. And I just fixed it according to what I thought looked best. And to keep it secure, I added just a little dab of glue so that the wire wouldn't move. And there are 5 sections, so there are 6 sections, and I used 2 at a time, so I was able to do 3 different sections, and I used 3 different battery packs. Sorry for the confusion. And here you can see me adding the glue. And when it's all complete, this is what it looks like. You can see the battery packs here, but it's okay. It's not really that noticeable when I hang it up. Alright, and I hung it up there, and the little hooks I have already installed at my house. And this is what it looks like. I just added a little tea light, and it gave it that just perfect amount of sparkle. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and please subscribe and share with your family and friends. Thank you all for watching, and sorry for rambling on. I've been having problems editing.